We heard them snap a few minutes ago, so we came down to see what happened.
That's all gone. My stairs are gone. Everything I had on the deck gone.
Living hell. It's been bad.
It's pretty much demolished. Off the pilings, the whole roof is gone.
I didn't know where to even start. I mean, I must have walked 20 circles in my yard before I even touched something. It's like it's so much.
Not only are we kicking off another hurricane season today, but many Louisiana residents are trying to figure out FEMA's Risk Rating 2.0 flood premiums and how they're going to impact them.
So we take a look at some of the concerns and uncertainties around that new flood insurance program. Risk Rating 2.0 is FEMA's new system for pricing flood insurance. Now, FEMA claims that 2.0 better reflects the real flood risk for properties. Rather than using the flood zone approach, 2.0 examines a variety of factors to assess the flood potential. Elevation, distance from a flood source, such as rivers and bayous, the cost to restore and/or rebuild, flood mitigation efforts, and the regional rainfall and flash flood threat are some of the key elements that go into the 2.0 pricing calculation. But premium estimates from 2.0 for our area are becoming more and more alarming. Bridget Whitney and her husband Perry are longtime residents of Central. In 2021, the Whitneys' annual flood insurance premium was less than $550.
And of course the 2.0 rating came in, and now my policy is $645 this year for that same coverage, and I'm supposed to be excited that I'm only going to be increased by 18% a year.
The Whitneys have been quoted a final 2.0 policy figure of $1,800 per year, more than 3 times their 2021 policy. Now, as long as they remain insured, their annual cost will only increase at 18% each year rather than immediately jump to that $1,800 estimate. However, at an annual increase of 18%, their annual cost will double in just 4 years.
So it's kind of scary for us. We will be on a fixed income.
What's your perspective on 2.0?
I really don't know. I'm clueless as to how they're coming up with the figures that they're coming up with.
Do you see this new rate as a punishment?
I do. I absolutely do.
2.0 has left many of us in the industry with a lot of unknowns.
Tara Smith is a realtor for Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and she's been tracking the changes in premiums that 2.0 has produced in the local area.
We're seeing some doubling in the premiums as well as triple premiums.
In fact, Congressman Garret has seen even more drastic increases.
We've gone and gotten actual numbers from people, and I'll give you an example. We had people that had preferred risk policy, $560 a year, going to $5,000, going to $6,000 a year.
So the obvious question is, how are these new rates generated?
Only FEMA knows. I've had clients ask how they go about quoting those premiums or putting that information together and what sources they actually use to compile that information together, and it's just an unknown to us realtors.
We have, as I mentioned, been trying to force transparency upon FEMA to disclose the rates, to disclose the methodology, how they've developed this new system. And we require an independent study of their methodology to determine if it's a legitimate approach or not.
So, Congressman, what would you highlight with regard to some of your congressional action regarding FEMA's Risk Rating 2.0?
Our efforts in Congress to help to pause, delay, or flat out stop Risk Rating 2.0 is growing. The reality is, it's just not sound policy. I mean, the numbers alone scream that this isn't sound policy. We don't want to lie or mislead people in regard to the risk that they're experiencing. But the solution here isn't to charge people out of being able to live in communities. The solution is building the flood protection that they deserve.
At the end of the day, it looks like FEMA's Risk Rating 2.0 may prove to be very expensive for many South Louisiana residents.
I think that we are experiencing a disproportionate increase in rates here.
So given all the uncertainty surrounding FEMA's Risk Rating 2.0, whether you currently have flood insurance or you're thinking about adding the protection to your property, be sure to speak with an insurance expert at your first opportunity.
And that's just one thing you should be doing as part of your hurricane game plan. You want to have supplies for several days in case the power goes out, or if you're cut off by floodwaters or debris.
Emergency officials say you should have at least 3 days worth of supplies. That means plenty of water and food, at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for 3 days.
You'll also want to have a battery-powered radio or hand crank radio so we can keep you informed. We have all this information and more in the Hurricane Center on the 9 News app.